A teacher, who wanted all his students to do well and have amazing lives, stood before his class one day and told them the following story. Once there were two friends, named Roger and Josh, who lived in the same neighborhood and attended the same school. They sometimes played together as their families were friends. But they had very different ways of looking at their lives. Roger's grandfather often spoke to the two boys about the importance of getting a good education, trying hard, doing their best, and making a success of life. Roger respected the fact that his grandfather had a whole lifetime of experience behind him, so he listened carefully to what his grandfather tried to teach him. Josh, on the other hand, thought the old man was old-fashioned, and had lost touch with what was going on in the world. So he did not pay much attention to his advice. Roger liked to play and have a good time, but, after considering what his grandfather taught him, he decided to try hard at his schoolwork. He listened attentively in class and asked questions if he did not understand. The teacher enjoyed having a student who tried so hard, and went out of his way to help him. Every day, after school, Roger spent time making sure all his homework was done, and went over what his teacher had taught him that day. He found this helped him remember things. He did not need anyone to chase him to do his work diligently. He made a special effort to do well with his class projects and volunteered to take part in extra class activities. He also made time to be involved in sports and clubs at his school and learn how to play the guitar. He spent a little time each day practicing. On weekends he would often help out a local animal shelter and visit with his granddad and other family members. He was always busy and active, but it meant that he had to cut back on some other things that he enjoyed, like watching TV and playing a lot of video games. He could not always go out with his friends to parties, but he had decided to try hard to do his best in the things that were most important at this time of his life. Josh approached things differently. He thought that it was just too much effort to try hard at school or anything else. He just wanted to enjoy being young and carefree. He did not listen much to the teacher in class. Instead, he played around and distracted the other children. He thought he was being funny. Others just thought he was being silly and childish. He was too lazy to do his work properly, or complete his homework. Instead, he spent most of his time playing sports, watching TV and going out with his friends. He could not be bothered to try hard or do his best at anything. He would often start something and then drop it as soon as it became too difficult or if he had to try hard. Soon he began to fall behind in his schoolwork. He had not listened to his teacher and understood the basics in class, so when the work became more difficult, he just tuned out and fell further behind. The teacher became upset with him as he would not try, and began to ignore him in class. Schoolwork became very difficult for Josh. Day after day, year after year, the two boys followed the habits and patterns in their lives that they had decided upon. Roger continued to try hard and do his best. When he came to the end of his school years, he graduated with top marks. He had done well at his sports. He enjoyed playing his guitar, and had joined a band. He had made many friends who also tried to do their best, and they encouraged each other. He decided to continue his training for his career after he left high school. His grandfather was no longer alive, but Roger knew that he would have been proud to see that Roger had taken his advice to try hard, and do his best. The hard work that Roger had put in every day over the years had paid off. Josh unfortunately had a different end to this story. He had not done well at school and had dropped out before graduation. He had found it hard to get work and was struggling to pay his bills. His friends encouraged him to get involved in many wrong things, and he had a criminal record. His life seemed empty and very hard. He could not see things getting any better. The choices he had made over the years had given him a life that he was not happy with. The teacher paused. This story is played out many times all over the world. People don't realize the importance of the small choices and decisions that they make every day, and the effect that they will have on their lives over time. Small daily actions have big consequences. It may seem hard at the time to always do the best you can, but it is well worth the effort in the end. I hope that you will remember this in the days and years to come.